August 14th, 2003, Harlem, New York City. Thousands gather under the fading summer light at Rucker Park. They aren't here for just another streetball game. They're here for a showdown that's been building for weeks.
Summer of '03 was supposed to be the legendary Rucker Park matchup.
Two hip-hop titans, two juggernaut teams, one game that never happened.
The day we were supposed to play the chip, for some reason, it's the blackout.
The Entertainers Basketball Classic, better known as the EBC, is a streetball tournament founded in 1982. Each summer, it brings hip-hop stars, NBA players, and thousands of fans to Harlem for a show like no other.
It's harder to play out there than it is to play in the garden.
You're not really an NBA player, I guess, until you experience Rucker at least one time.
The Rucker's a pro court, it's just you're on the streets.
But one year, something was brewing, something different. Two of the biggest names in rap, Jay-Z and Fat Joe, were both building super teams. In the summer of 2003, Jay-Z announced that he would be entering a team, S. Carter, worthy of challenging the defending EBC champs, the Terror Squad, coached by Fat Joe.
When he first came, I said, oh my God, I know he's not trying to come in my zone, in my area. And out of nowhere, here come this guy after I win 5 chips in a row. He wants a team. I'm like, God damn, man, he won everything. He walking in the games, Beyonce. And I said, damn, man, this man got all the money, the hottest chick. He the biggest in the game. I got the little street tournament. And the man coming in this shit. And so it was a little bit of jealousy.
There was a beef going on between the two, which partly stemmed from Fat Joe feeling like Jay-Z was trying to take away one of the few things he had away from him. But Jay-Z didn't just enter the tournament to beat Fat Joe's team. The EBC also provided a stage for him to promote his new Reebok sneaker. It was all a part of his marketing plan, which seemed to have worked, given the fact that the S-Dots ultimately became Reebok's fastest selling shoe of all time, which was just another thing for Fat Joe to be envious of.
You briefly mentioned that Joe made Terror Squad hate Jay-Z because he hated Jay-Z.
That was the topic there.
Why did he hate Jay-Z?
Just jealous. He don't like him. He hated Jay-Z.
But at least the one thing Fat Joe did have going for him was a squad who was known for their dominance in the EBC tournament. So while he didn't like the fact that Jay-Z was participating in the tournament, he still had unshakable confidence that they were going to win the championship. This wasn't just a game, this was a statement. Brooklyn versus the Bronx, Rockefeller versus Terror Squad. Both rappers turned the summer into a full-blown recruiting war. At first, Fat Joe's Terror Squad featured Al Harrington, Jermaine O'Neal, Zach Randolph, Sean Marion, and Stephon Marbury, just to name a few. Among those who initially suited up for Jay-Z's team were Lamar Odom, Sebastian Telfair, Kenyon Martin, Eddie Curry, and Jamal Crawford.
It's Jay-Z on the phone. He like, man, you gotta come to Rucker and play. And at the time, I'm still nervous. It's like, Rucker, like, but it's Jay. I'm like, I can tell him no. So I'm like, all right. He's like, but we can't lose. We cannot lose.
But that was just their regular season rosters. As the championship game approached, both teams looked to add even more NBA firepower, which apparently you were allowed to do.
Oh, so what, y'all adding people to the party? But you got a problem with it?
Jay-Z was also able to get LeBron to be on his team, which caught the attention of Carmelo Anthony.
Now, Carmelo Anthony wanted to come because LeBron was on Jay-Z's team.
Yeah.
They both, LeBron's fresh out of high school. Carmelo won that chip with Syracuse.
Yeah.
So they want to get at it.
And Shaquille O'Neal wanted to join after he heard Yao Ming was going to be there.
Jay-Z sent the plane, and I came up because, they were saying Fat Joe had Yao Ming. Fat Joe my guy, but, when they want to bring Yao Ming up to the city, I got to come shut that down.
Apparently, Shaq was said to be Jay-Z's secret weapon for the championship game, which people now believe Jay-Z was alluding to in this clip.
We get anywhere near the championship game, I promise problems.
Even T-Mac was rumored to play in the championship game for Jay-Z, but Fat Joe apparently had something up his sleeve as well.
Halftime, I had AI and Mike Bibby in the hotel that was coming over at halftime to walk in the game at halftime. AI at his prime, Mike Bibby, at his prime.
So you had Allen Iverson set to face off against Jamal Crawford, Carmelo Anthony about to go head-to-head against LeBron, Shaq was ready to square off against Yao, and Stephon Marbury's anticipated matchup against his cousin Sebastian Telfair became one of the most talked about storylines of that summer. It was going to be the greatest street ball game of all time. The day finally came, thousands showed up, lines wrapped around the block. Then, just as the game was about to begin, blackout.
New York City has blacked out. There has been a power failure in southern Canada or northern New York that has caused a failure in the power grid. It is estimated the power grid failure covers Canada, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, and Ohio.
A massive power outage across the Northeast shut down what could have been the most legendary game in street ball history.
LeBron was definitely going to play that day.
I was playing for Team Rockefeller, but then the blackout happened, so everything was shut down. We weren't allowed to play there. We just sat on the bus and the lights never came on, so we just relaxed.
I was going to play with Fat Joe, the Terror Squad. We were supposed to play against Jay-Z, and then the blackout happened.
In a last-ditch effort to save the event, Jay-Z attempted to light up the court by getting everyone to turn on their car headlights, but the authorities did not allow it. The last major blackout in New York City was over 2 decades earlier, and then it happens on the day of one of the greatest games that was set to be played? Was it just bad timing or something more? After all, the entire power grid for the Northeast didn't just fail every day. Theories exploded. Did someone not want this game to be played? Coincidence or something deeper?
Let me say this though. You guys think that the power went out, because it was a city thing. That government came in, so we shut it down. We talking about real beef. That was real beef. And now we're gonna put everybody in this one little space.
Okay,
that's a conspiracy.
theory,
It is.
right.
It is for real.
What did Canada have to do with it?
They all a part of it. They couldn't let that happen.
The game was rescheduled for the following Monday, but it never happened because Jay-Z and Beyonce had already left for vacation.
Jay-Z was actually leaving out of town Friday, so he already had it all mapped out that win it or lose it, he was out the next day. The lights came back on the next morning, but it was really too late to have the game.
Terror Squad showed up at the park and waited for several hours, but Jay-Z never came, so Fat Joe's team won by forfeit.
I knew they wasn't coming.
He even rapped about it in the song Lean Back.
Now even Pee Wee Kirkland could imagine this. My team didn't have to play to win the championship. Come on.
Fast forward 20 years later to 2023, Fat Joe is now the one with his own shoe, the Terror Squad Nike Air Force Ones, stamped with a TS logo on the heel, inspired by the famous blackout game. To this day, fans still argue about who would have won, and Fat Joe believes he knows the answer.
I said they had Shaq. If they had Shaq, I say they win. I'm not dizzy. I'm not crazy. You got Shaquille O'Neal at that time, you're winning. Nobody's gonna stop him, right?
The 2003 blackout left people in darkness for up to 48 hours, but in the basketball world, we're still in the dark.
It probably wasn't meant to happen, because that would have been the craziest outdoor game ever.